Coming up on MCTV this week, Monmouth College celebrates Martin Luther King Day and find out what it means to be white. This week starts now. Hello and welcome to MCTV This Week. For Alistair Ramsey, I'm Tori Philbin. Even though classes were in session, the college used parts of the day to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The day began with a convocation in the Dahl Chapel featuring musical performances by MC's Colorful Voices of Praise and Peoria Choir One Accord. The Monmouth College Theater Department also performed with a reenactment of King's I Have a Dream speech.
My desk is tired of your desk.
A community service project for Kids Against Hunger was held at the Intercultural House after the convocation. Students and faculty involved in intercultural life packed 5,070 meals to send to children in Africa.
You know, it's really part of Monmouth College's mission, I think, to stand up for justice and to stand up for unity, and so this is an important day for Monmouth College.
King's birthday was first celebrated as a national holiday in 1986.
The question of what does it mean to be white was the topic of discussion last week on campus. Professors Amy DeFerris and Wendell Hunnigan both presented ideas of what whiteness is and what it means to be white, asking students to work through some difficult questions. Hunnigan discussed how beauty is often seen through a white perspective. Band-Aids are supposed to match a white skin tone. Plastic surgery is available for women of a different ethnicity to change their appearance to look whiter, and white skin and sleek hair is considered most beautiful. DeFerris talked about white culture as opposed to the culture in Brazil. She pointed out that while we put great stock in being a certain color, in Brazil there is much more emphasis on the cultural background that a person is from instead of the color of their skin.
What does it mean to be white? I don't think, a lot of them are students who identify as white don't think about that. We talked about tonight, does whiteness have culture? Does whiteness have, what does that mean?
The event was sponsored by the Office of Intercultural Life, the Wackerly Center, and ASAP.
Taking a look at some events on campus this week. Learn about privacy in the digital age at tonight's Great Decisions lecture at 7:30 in CSB 276. Take a break from classes and do some yoga in the Highlander Room, sponsored by the Wellness Center. That's tomorrow at 4. And pianist Ryan Nicholas makes a guest appearance Friday night at 7:30. Come see his talents in the Dahl Chapel.
Coming up next in sports, plenty of hoop action for the men's and women's teams as we reach the halfway point in the Midwest Conference season. Highlights next.
Swimming in a race is one of the most invigorating and exciting things that I've ever done. The feeling of nervousness you get before your race. When the starter blows the whistle and you step up on the block. The entire pool is cheering. The noise is almost deafening. When the starter says, "Take your mark." Go. Everything happens in a flash. You hit the wall. Your teammates are cheering for you. You swim the last lap with all you've got. And then it's over.
Fans packed the gym on January 17th as the men's basketball program took on conference rivals Ripon Redhawks. At their only meeting of the season, Scots battled in the first half to meet the Redhawks' momentum. Ripon's Ty Sabin came up with a steal, went coast to coast, missed the layup, but teammate Nathan Rundy came down with the rebound, put it back in for 2. Later in the half, good ball movement by Ripon led to an open 3 for senior Kyle Loughran. Fighting Scots responded, though, as freshman Paul Ango got a steal dribbled down, stopped about 15 feet in front of the hoop, and knocked down the jumper. Into the second we go. The battle continued as Ripon Redhawks and the Scots traded baskets. Then the momentum shifted big time as Monmouth's Andrew Matheson got a steal, and the big man took it home on the other end, slammed it down, and the Fighting Scots maintained that momentum throughout the second half, going on to win with a 10-point victory over Redhawks.
We knew coming in that this was going to be a really big one. They're one spot behind us in the conference standings, so obviously we do a lot of film work, and our guys have been working hard to prepare themselves. They do some difficult things to guard offensively, so we had to work against ball screens pretty much all week. But since we had 3 games this week, it was a little bit more challenging for us. So excited that we came out ready to play tonight.
That win gave them 8 straight victories in a row, and they looked to make it 9 when the #1 team in the conference, the St. Norbert Green Knights, came to town last Saturday. St. Norbert took an early lead, but this fadeaway jumper by Paul Engo gave Monmouth their first points of the game. Keeping pace with the Knights, John Calhoun drives through the hoop and makes a contested layup, and then the freshman Will Jones turns and fires away from 3, and he drains the three-pointer, and then cutting into the Knights' lead 2 plays later, Chad Thompson grabs the rebound off the Jones miss and puts it back in. And with the Scots trailing 15-13, 3 minutes to go in the half, Calhoun finds freshman Riley Blay in the corner. He buries the 3, and St. Norbert will go into halftime leading 28-23. Monmouth would fall even farther behind as the reigning conference champs win 76-62.
I was proud of the effort the guys gave, but we just didn't make enough shots to stay in the game. When Andrew Matheson and Will Jones go combined 7 for 26 in the game, that's usually not a recipe for success for us.
Despite the loss, Monmouth remains second in the Midwest Conference as they go to Lake Forest on Saturday. In the meantime, the women's basketball team faced against the leading team in the Midwest Conference, the St. Norbert Green Knights, last Saturday. 2014 Midwest Conference champions St. Norbert College were prepared to continue their conference winning streak, but fell to the Fighting Scots in overtime. A slow game in the beginning, but buckets started to fall, and percentages from the field were impressive on both sides. The Scots and the Knights were never more than 9 points apart, and at the half, the Green Knights led 31-29. St. Norbert came out strong in the second, but Monmouth's Kathleen Forrest was able to keep the Scots within reach, scoring 2 consecutive three-pointers, and point guard Paige Nord had several assists throughout the game, and freshman Kelsey Walsberg was the leading scorer with 22 points. It turned into a one-possession game after freshman Maddie Dolman scored a basket, and with 2 minutes left in the game, Monmouth down by 4 points. Nord manages to get to the line for a 1-and-1. She makes the first, the second not kind for Nord, but rebounded by freshman Allison Collins, and she goes to the line for 2 free throws. Collins makes 1 for 2, making the score 52-51, Norbert in the lead. Nord is fouled again after Norbert's timeout and makes 1 free throw, tying the game up, but the Scots eventually win in overtime, 60-58 against the conference leaders and defending champions.
Obviously, I'm very pleased. I don't think anyone thought we even had a chance. We fought hard for 45 minutes and we came out with a W.
The women's team will travel to Lake Forest on Saturday. Tip-off set for 3 p.m. On January 10th, news broke that Coach Steve Bell, the head coach of the Monmouth football team, was the new man in charge for the Augustana Vikings. That left big shoes to fill for the Monmouth program. Well, just 5 days later, Monmouth found their new head coach.
With football season 8 months away and several inches of snow on the ground, the Fighting Scots football team had to find a new head coach. Chad Braun takes over after being a longtime defensive coordinator under Bell. Players and administration say he's the right man for the job.
I'm just excited just because it's like the atmosphere he brings to the football field. He's always fired up for games and even practices. He's one of the most fired up coaches I've had for practices. So it's going to be nice to have a coach that we know and have experience with practicing and coaching with. So
the best of both worlds in Chad. Somebody who knows the program, is committed to the college, knows the importance of football and the overall mission of the college, but bringing a fresh set of eyes, a fresh perspective. So we're just very excited about this opportunity because, like I said, we get the best of both worlds in Chad.
After 15 years with the Scots, Steve Bell leaves behind a team that is used to having success year after year. Bell leaves as the winningest coach in Monmouth's history as he heads north to another Division III school, Augustana College.
We understand that, Coach Bell, the 15 years that he's been here has been amazing. He's done some amazing things here. And we understand that his time would have to end at some point. And of course, we're sad to see him leave, but as I said, we understand it, and we know that we can continue to do what Monmouth College football has always done in the past years.
And what Monmouth has done in the last 15 years is win 4 conference titles and advance to the second round twice. Coach Braun's first order of business is to find a coaching staff before there are any W's on the field.
Find somebody that maybe has some familiarity with this program. So, we have several good young coaches that are out there that have some experience. So we might target those guys first and foremost. And then, if we find somebody that's outside of that realm, then we'll have to get them acquainted to Monmouth College and the tradition and the history here. I felt privileged to be their head football coach. I felt like it was an honor to lead this program, and excited to get going.
The coaching carousel continues to turn with other MC athletics. Coach Dave Ergone goes with Coach Bell to Augie to be his offensive coordinator, and Steve Schweer takes over for the men's golf coach, while Brian Jordan takes over for the men's tennis program, filling a vacancy that Braun left when he took the reins for the football team. There's your look at sports. Here are your scores for this week.
This semester marks the 10th anniversary of MCTV, and each week we'll be taking a look back at those 10 years by hearing from a graduate about their time with the program. This week we head to the beginning with 05 graduate Josh Sonnenberg.
Now on to MCTV. We take you to Josh Sonnenberg with this month's student short film.
Thanks, guys. I'm Josh Sonnenberg. I'm part of the entertainment production.
Well, look at that handsome devil, huh? Well, hey, MCTV, my name is Josh Sonnenberg. I can't believe it's been 10 years since this video was made. I can't believe it's the 10-year anniversary of MCTV. I want to say here's to another 10. Congratulations on 10 years. Thank you, Chris, for everything you did for me when I was at Monmouth College. And I wish everyone the best of luck. I can't wait to see your films and see what MCTV comes up with this year. So I'm actually going to watch this. I haven't seen it in about 10 years.
That'll do it for MCTV this week. I'm David Beidel.
And I'm Alistair Ramsey. Make sure to tune in next week for another edition of MCTV. And don't forget, go Hawks.
And I'm Tori Philbin. Make sure you also visit us on the web at monmouthcollege.edu/MCTV. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.